Hey everyone, happy Monday.
What up? What's up, guys? Happy Monday.
For some people, it is a mindful Monday. For other people, it is a motivational Monday. But if you're here with us on Say That channel, you
You
know that
already
it's
know.
Monday Rundown. Woo! Super excited to be with you. I'm recording you. This is like a recording of a recording. I was told to start recording the things that I do on a normal basis.
Oh, nice, nice.
So you guys get a behind the scenes look.
Let us into your life.
Well, I'm really excited. For those of you that normally join us on our Wednesday shows, you know that that's geared towards entrepreneurship and the mindset around building businesses.
Yeah.
But here in the Monday Rundown, we get to talk about all the other things. We get to learn about new things. We go to other content creators, other thought leaders in the arena of the topic that we're talking about. So that way we can hear their thoughts and their ideas, and we all can learn together.
Absolutely. And guys, if you've not done so already, make sure you like, subscribe to the video, hit the notification bell. And if you also want to support us, you can check us out on our Patreon. That's where we have some extra content that we provide from our Wednesday shows for our different interviews. We have a wealth of knowledge there. So definitely you could join us on our Patreon. But let's jump into today's topic, guys.
Will humans adapt to AI or will AI adapt to us?
Oh
Hmm.
man, I love talking tech. Love it, love it, love it.
What a great question. I think it's a little of both, if I'm going to be honest. I think humans are adapting really quickly. I mean, in China right now, they're teaching kids in elementary school as young as like 5 years old how to use AI, how to interact with it, and things like that. Meanwhile, here in New York, they're taking AI away from the kids in schools. So I think that there's an interesting thing happening. I think we have to adapt to AI because it's not going away. So I think that we should. But I also think AI is adapting to us because it's learning how we think, how we communicate, and things like that as well. Oh, Winston, I meant to tell this. Okay, so this is like hot off the press, like live information dropping. I saw this. It was a post on Instagram. I believe it's Black Love, and they went into Chat GPT and responded to Chat GPT, who we lovingly call Sebastian, and responded to Chat GPT and was like, "Chat GPT, you sound like a millennial white woman. Let me hook you up in like the settings to like, you know how you can like make
Yeah, yeah,
chats
yeah.
a particular way." And so Chat responded like, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Yes, please update me." And then gave the prompts to like be straightforward, speak. I think they used the word
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
ebonics or something, right? And so they did all this. And then they were like, based on the, and then the chat responded like, okay, and like, what do you think my name should be? And then I think the human responded like, I don't know, like, what do you think your name should be? And then the chat named itself.
Came up with itself.
Yeah, it was like Nia. I
Yeah,
think that that's like short and to the point and like is punchy, just
yeah,
like my personality. And then started talking, and I was like, "What is happening right now?"
yeah, yeah.
And so I think that's a way of like an example of how technology, the AI, is adapting to us, and how. And first of all, the fact that you even knew how to. Anyway, I have a whole bunch. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions, but
No,
that is an example of how it's adapting to us.
well, just to elaborate on that, if you recognize what it is you're doing when you're in, and this is just, I guess full transparency. So I studied robotics and was all of that through my high school and was a computer engineer in my first few years of college. So just this whole idea, I used to break apart my mom's computer. I've written code, things like
Mm,
that.
cool.
So if you understand what it is that you're actually doing, like the whole process of writing code, I mean, many of us have probably seen Social Media and that movie, but like if you understand that at that point the base that what those guys were literally just creating was an ability to give access for us to talk to each other as human beings.
Mm.
What AI is now taken is it's created that same code to a lesser degree, This is not obviously technically what's the code I'm talking about, but that's created a code that's in itself able to respond to prompts that it creates on its own. It does still, the interface that access we have now is to Janelle's story. You can give it initial prompts and then it'll create its own based on that. But you don't have that with technology that we've been accustomed to. Your microwave can only do what it's told.
Mhm.
There isn't a conversation, there isn't any way for your microwave to even give you feedback besides not working the way you believe it should be working. AI takes that to a completely different level. This is something that, to the even naming itself, beyond that, the fact that it had again the thought to name itself, for it to land on that, it's insane. I love it. I mean, I actually love it. And to your point about which one, I definitely think it is both ways. I think there will be some people, clearly they'll push back, but it'll become such a part of life, like a cell phone, that it'll just be around you. Let's
Mhm.
just call it what it is. Even if you don't have the latest iPhone, you have a phone. No one's out here sending mail Pony Express. No, like it's just an inevitability. Does that make sense? Like you're not in your house sending Morse code through some electro. Like that's just the way it is. Technology will eventually move out these archaic systems, and it's gonna happen in a rate. I'm thinking stuff like I know you've mentioned there's like a fear that comes with this stuff, but there's some jobs, dangerous jobs, in fact, and some medial jobs that don't allow for us as humans to really take advantage of what we have with life because you're so, I'm gonna call it burden because work isn't a burden, but the types of work that we have access to given the way society is set up, because you need bus drivers, you need people to serve you food at restaurants, you need these minimum wages kind of jobs. But if you didn't have to do that and you had other things that are going to be created that you will get the ability, because that's the thing that's so limiting. I think people see this right now and they think, oh, they're taking all our jobs. No, they're just going to do the jobs that we didn't have. We're going to get the opportunity to create new jobs, new things that we're going to get to do with the time that we're going to get given back. Similar to how factory workers used to have to work in factories until machines replaced that. And then those people became businessmen. You know what I mean? Like things will move, jobs will create itself. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Well, it is not just us talking about this today. We're gonna go back to some old school favorites for us.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't chimed into big think in a long time, and I think this is a great topic to tune back in to see what they've got to say. So let's listen and learn and hear what they've got to say on big think.
Can't wait.
Part of what's happening now in the world is this kind of tension between organic animals, we are organic animals, and an inorganic digital system, which is increasingly controlling and shaping the entire world. Now, part of being an organic entity is that you live by cycles. Day and night, winter and summer, growth and decay. Sometimes you're active, sometimes you need to relax, you need to rest. Now, algorithms and AIs and computers, they are not organic, they never need rest. They are on all the time. And the big question is whether we adapt to them or they adapt to us. And more, of course, we have to adapt to them. We have to be on all the time. So the news cycle is always on. And everything we say, even when we are supposedly relaxing with friends, it can be public. So the whole of life becomes like this one long job interview. That any stupid thing you did in some college party when you're 18, it can meet you down the road 10, 20 years later. And this is destructive to how we function. You even think about the market. Like Wall Street, as far as I know, it's open Monday to Fridays, 9:30 to 4 in the afternoon. Like if on Friday at 5 minutes past 4, a new war erupts in the Middle East, the market will react only on Monday. It is still running by organic cycles. Now, what would happen to human bankers and financiers, and so what is happening when the market is always active. You can never relax.
Have you talked to folks like Sam Altman, who runs OpenAI, or the folks at Microsoft? I know Bill Gates was a big fan of your books in the past, or the folks at Google. What do they say when you discuss this with them? And do you trust them? When you've met them, do you go, I trust you, Sam Altman?
Most of them are afraid. They understand.
Afraid of you or afraid of AI?
No, afraid of what they are doing, afraid of what is happening. They understand better than anybody else the potential, including the destructive potential of what they are creating, and they are very afraid of it. At the same time, their basic shtick is that I'm a good guy and I'm very concerned about it. Now you have these other guys, they are bad, they don't have the same kind of responsibility that I have, so it would be very bad for humanity if they create it first, so I must be the one who creates it first, and you can trust me that I will at least do my best to keep it under control. And everybody are saying it, and I think that to some extent they are genuine about it. There is, of course, also this another element in there of extreme kind of pride and hubris that they are doing the most important thing in basically not just the history of humanity, the history of life.
Do you think they are?
They could be, yes. If you think about the timeline of the universe, at least as far as we know it. So you have basically two stops. First stop, 4 billion years ago, the first organic life forms emerge on planet Earth. And then for 4 billion years, nothing major happens. Like for 4 million years, it's more of the same. It's more organic stuff. So you have amoebas and you have dinosaurs and you have humans, but it's all organic. And then here comes Elon Musk or Sam Altman and does the second important thing in the history of the universe, the beginning of inorganic evolution. Because AI is just at the very, very beginning of its evolutionary process. It's basically like 10 years old, 15 years old. We haven't seen anything yet. GPT-4 and all these things, they are the amoebas of AI evolution. And who knows how the AI dinosaurs are going to look like. But the name on the inflection point of the history of the universe, if that name is Elon Musk or that name is Sam Altman, that's a big thing.
Very interesting. Very, very
great
interesting.
points.
Yeah. So of note, this was recorded in September 2024. I think we can all agree that a lot has happened since then, including with AI and AI technology. Ultimately, I think he agreed with what we were saying. It's a little bit of both, right? Like we're conforming, it's conforming to us. There's a both and situation happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that he brought up at the very end, which is like the creation of something new and how that is an inflection point.
Changing something in life. I mean, it is. If you think of even, and I don't know the dates for any of this, but like the algorithms when we started noticing that on your favorite platforms, it would tell you what shows it thinks you would like, or you talk about some product, next thing you know, you see ads in your phone being marketed to you from it. There's this idea of what does a human need or want, and how can we fill that gap. Has been, it's how these things are moving and evolving. To his point about which one of these guys, and maybe genuinely feel like I am doing the best for steering humanity this way. I think that's a very interesting notion, given I know neither one of those people have ever spoken to me. But if they're getting their information similar to how I talked about like algorithms, so it's like we're tracking behaviors, and so we're just kind of looking at you on this very linear, because I'm way more than my behaviors. And actually we did an episode last week talking about that and your habits. But that's what algorithms track, you know what I mean? it's this, and on this day they do this and things like that, and your watch, all these. I mean, we have all these metrics that track and is recording data.
Yeah, the
So
idea that
I'm interested to see where it's all going.
we're always on. That
Yeah,
part
that
really.
was the part. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Your
We're always,
phone, even when you sleep now, you have a sleep watch that tells you how you slept and how the things are. It's like we're constantly recording all this data, and I'm fascinated by where it's all
so
to
if
what
you're
end.
into investments, a good idea would be to invest in companies that supply the power to the AI data centers, um, because they are going to constantly need power. We need sleep. AI needs power to keep going. Because technically, and when he
If
said it, I was like, well, technically, it could shut down if it ran out of power. But all to that end, there's a lot of people invested in making sure that that doesn't happen. But they
if
are concerned about the amount of power it is taking to run these things. So if you were
uh,
an investor, I would say that it's a good idea to invest in companies that power these sources.
if as Janelle said that, you immediately flashed to the Matrix where Neo realizes that he's the human battery, please drop it in the comment because that was a very scary thing Janelle just said.
Well,
I was
only if
like,
your mind flashed to that. If your
the
mind
whole
didn't
premise of that
flash to
movie,
that,
the whole premise of that movie is the AI needs power and they use human beings as the battery because they
no, no,
require so much
I
power.
know. I saw the Matrix. I know. I'm just saying I didn't
Did
flash
you?
to that. I didn't flash to that
Oh,
when I said it. That wasn't my thought. But that's because, okay, if you have read the essay called The Final Question, um, then you are probably thinking like me and you know that there's an alternative source to power and all that other things. However, anyway, we're talking about right now. Right now, though, invest in companies that provide power to the
that's
AI. I'm
funny.
telling you, it's a good look. It's a good look. Really quickly, I found the Instagram. So I just wanted to show you guys because I thought it was hilarious. So she goes, OMG, I need to teach you Ebonics. You sound like a millennial white lady. And then chat's like, oh, please do. I'm trying to be in the group chat. Like, what? So yeah, this is right. Okay, right. So then she's like, all right, let me get this to okay. Okay, so this is the next part, right? So what traits should ChatGPT have? Be an educated Black woman, use Ebonics, readily share strong opinions, get right to the point, take a forward thinking view, use an encouraging tone, be innovative and think outside the box, be empathic and understanding, I guess, in your tone. So then this, after they put all that in, they go, hey, so I personalized your settings. All I need for you to do is come up with a name for yourself. Hey, Ashanti, I love that you personalized everything. Now we really vibing. Since you took the time to set me up right, I'm gonna do the same for myself. Call me Nia. Short, strong, and full of meaning, just like how I like to keep my responses. What you think?
That's awesome.
Oh, I like that. Nia's a perfect name for you.
That's really cool.
Ah, okay. Anyway, and then there were, damn, you should have seen my reaction just now, gang. You heard this time around you were on point and locked in with the instructions. Let's go. That's the energy I love to hear. Appreciate you, gang. You already know I'm locked in every time. If you got another creative idea or want to run it back with a twist, I'm right here with it. What's next? Sorry. It just made me laugh so much. I was like, what is happening right now? Okay. I'm done.
I thought that was still a part of it.
Oh no. That's just their
I love that people are having fun with it though and exploring it because
yeah,
then it
yeah,
definitely will make it easier for people to adopt. But yeah.
For sure. For sure. All right, guys. Well, this has been another one. Please put in the comments all of your thoughts, all of your questions, all of your own ponderings. We'll see you next week. But until then, as always, remember, you deserve the good life. Say that.
But have an amazing week, you guys.